Hey Shooby Doodlers, how are you doing? Today I am going to show you how to draw a Boeing 787 Dreamliner side view in nice, simple, easy stages. Now start by drawing the sort of cylinder. This is the fuselage, the main body, so draw two lines. You can use a ruler if you want. I'm just drawing it like that. And then it's going to fade out at the end, and it's not right down the middle. And if you draw a line kind of down the middle like that, it's actually going to end just slightly above that. So if we kind of aim like that and aim like that, that will give you that kind of feeling for the end. And then at this end it has quite a sort of a drop snout, becoming like that to about a third the way down, and then curve around like that. And then maybe I should straighten that up in the camera, shouldn't I? About a third way down here we want to draw the cockpit, so that'll be something like that. And then we're going to have, again, round about a third the way down, sort of draw something like that. This is where we'll have the windows along here, so we're going to want to have the door for the cockpit door like that. There's a little window and a thing, and then we've got a few windows along here. Now if you're really nerdy, you can count them all and get the right number in there. And then we're going to want to have another door, so this will be a passenger door coming in here, and we're going to want lots of windows coming all the way down there like that. I'm not going to draw them in particularly. And sort of that's the halfway line, just a little bit below, just kind of a bit behind the door. This is where we want to build an engine. So these are Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines, and that's going to be sort of coming back like that, and they have this natty Star Wars kind of scalloped edge thing there at the end, a little bit coming out like that, and then a kind of a triangle cone. So it's just coming underneath the door. We have this kind of wing assembly section. I'm sure there's a proper name for it. This is the bit where it's glued onto the fuselage. You can tell I'm not an aircraft technician. And then round about here we want to start bringing the wing out. It's really quite tricky, so I think in fact we're going to want to aim for something like that, and it'll be coming out more at that angle, coming to about there. They're very long slender wings, and it's going to curve out from there like that. The engine is then kind of sort of glued on underneath the wing with this kind of thing, engine hanging device, and bring a line up the front of the wing like that as well. And round about here we have these little kind of bits. I'm sorry, like I say, I'm not an aircraft engineer, so I don't know what all these things are called. That must be just probably slightly lower, or maybe just slightly above. Let's bring that bit just above there. Now the tail plane, I'm pretty sure it's called a tail plane. Tail fin. You're all going to correct me in the comments box below and tell me I got all the names wrong. I suppose I should kind of learn some stuff about aircraft names. So I think this is the tail fin, isn't it? Something like that. And then the tail wing, round about where this part comes down, we have this kind of curve in there so that it can tilt up and down. And that wants to be built in there, but then this also rises up slightly and will come up like that and kind of down to about there. There's a mid fuselage door there. We're going to have another one around about here where that joins at the top there, and then again we want all these little windows. And in fact I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use a ruler just to tell me where the top and the bottom of those windows are going to be, and maybe even just to straighten out some of these lines. So that then should be sort of coming up like that. Let's have it on the ground, so you can bring that down there like that, and a couple of wheels there, and this kind of structure. And I think that wants to just come a little bit more and around like that. And we can have the front nose wheel coming down there, and we want them about the same. We want them on the same level, don't we? Let's do that. Maybe that's a bit smaller, coming back like that. And the nose wheel is a little bit smaller. Let's zoom in a little bit. I actually want to bring that back slightly, a little angle like that. And let's start with this engine. And we want to be quite fluid coming around like that. And then we had this kind of cool Star Wars effect thing going on there. Bring that down to the front there. And then we want that part of the engine there in this kind of exhaust cone. And then that is going to go up under the wing. And then this sort of comes down and around like that. So that the wing is then going to come out a little bit, up a little fraction. It's trying to decide which bits to draw first. So I think we're going to draw these little bits here. Let's draw those like little grains of rice. And then this will be in front. So this is the undercarriage cover. That will come down and in like a little sort of knee. Have our two wheels like that. And then we can draw in this kind of wing assembly section there. That will come there. So the actual wing bit is about there, and that's going to curve back along there like that. There we go. And then we can continue that wing assembly section. Okay, so now we've got two sort of sections left. So let's do the front here. And I'm going to draw this little bit here first. So that's right underneath there. And then I'm going to take this gently, 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 slowly, don't race this bit. And curve it nicely around the front. And along the top. And we can draw in those cockpit windows like that. And at the back, let's take that there, and it's going to go sweeping up to the top there and across. And then we want to draw the tail fin. It's going to be something like that. And we want to sort of, if we draw that up there, that'll give it a kind of a sense of thickness to it. And this wants to sweep down. And then we can continue the underside up to there, and a little line down there, because that will be a black line at the back. And let's bring that down to there. That down to there. And we're going to want a line going up the front of the tail fin. We also had this kind of curve line around there. Now let's draw these doors. And that has a little kind of thing there. And there. And we'll draw the other door there. And the other door there. And the rear door in there like that. I've made those windows a little generous there, so I'll do something more like that, I think. And maybe even less than that. And we're going to have a little battery here of 4. 2, 3, 4. And then there's a kind of a junction. I think it's all these kind of the way it's built in sections, probably, isn't it? And then we have more windows here. You can. I'm going to make them a bit. The original jetliner, the Comet, had square windows, and they failed dramatically, and that's why you'll find airliner windows are oval and with rounded corners now. So we can fit those in there. So they're not round and they're not and then another square. And then we want a little section of windows coming in along here too. So let's just draw this front nose wheel. And you might want to get a ruler in to draw the ground. When you are absolutely sure that the ink is dry, then you can erase those pencil lines. And if you haven't pressed too hard, they'll be easy to erase. And all your friends will go, wow, how did you draw that? That's amazing. So what we also want to do is draw a little line up the leading edge of the wing going like that. And then we've got various kind of little construction lines. So down here we have a line going down there, and another one sort of round about there, and another one round about there. They probably ought to be equal length actually, shouldn't they, I think. So let me try and do that. Let's make that one about there, something like that. And then we can have little lines underneath. We're going to have one there, and this will go up that way. And another kind of line going across there. I want to have a little kind of radio antennae thing going on at the back there as well. And then the engine is going to have things on it, and we could probably add a little bit of, if we sort of shade that in there, and then we can just add a little bit of shade on that sort of cone section. And then basically you've got shading underneath the wings. So I'm just going to shade in the wings like that, and we're going to get sort of sunlight coming down, creating a shadow. So I'm going to shade up to that point there, like that. And we're also going to get a sort of a shadow coming in underneath there. And so I'm going to shade quite carefully behind there. And coming down to that point there where it's kind of the wing is creating that shadow. You're also going to get a little bit of shadow all the way along the bottom of the plane like that, and along the bottom of the engine and the bottom of the fuselage there, underneath the wing, a little bit in that curve, and then we shade in that leading edge of the tail fin. And also the front of the engine, just leave a little bit of white there and shade that down like that. And then the undercarriage cover needs shading too. And if you want to be really clever, you can just press a little bit harder in these sort of areas just up above here. And then all the windows will need shading in too. You're going to get bits of writing on the door. And then finally, I think you just want to ink in the tyres on the wheels and add a bit of shading as well to the undercarriage assembly. Oops, and now don't forget you're going to want a little bit of shadow underneath the tail fin as well. And there you go, how to draw a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Thanks for watching, and keep coming back to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel. Lots more drawings every week. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.